Right.
My God.
You're right.
Ow.
And you're right. You're right.
He's now trying to get into games. Yeah.
The worst.
Interestingly enough, David Lynch also wishes he was Hideo Kojima, because at least his story would make fucking sense at that point.
The worst Kojima story is still better than any Zack Snyder story.
All right. I have
shots fired.
I have an answer for you, son. The plant is called a Utah agave.
Oh.
Tequila.
Well timed. Well timed.
Now we have to have Pee Wee Herman in platform heels dancing on the bar.
No.
No.
Son, one of these days you have to make that your background.
Oh, just Pee Wee Herman on the bar?
Yes.
Yeah, Justin, that was really good timing.
I know.
Finally.
I know.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Are we ready to get this shindig on the road?
He actually needs to get a soundboard, like a physical fucking soundboard to press the buttons so that he can map them.
Push the button.
All right, we ready to roll?
Yes.
Let's roll.
All right, let's do it. And countdown.
The Bad Batch, Loki, and He-Man. We're covering it all tonight on this ASMR edition of the Real SuperGeeks.
Shut up.
Welcome to the Real SuperGeeks on this, the 11th of June, 2021. And wow, I did not expect that reaction, Travis.
I don't know what was funnier, Ross's intro or Travis's response.
Wait. Okay, so you plan to do the ASMR. You just don't remember that Travis talks about all the fucking time hating ASMR.
It's not that I hate it. It's just like
it's that you don't like it.
Oh, okay. I wanted him to do an AMSMR Skeletor intro. You know, it could have been much worse.
I was waiting for that.
I'll save that for when we actually review Masters of the Universe.
Don't you dare. I don't hate ASMR. Like, there's actually some ambience that I actually really find soothing. But when it comes to, like, scratches like that or the whispers, it always just... It gives me the wrong kind of reaction in the, like, unpleasant way.
Well, I wanted to do ASMR as Skeletor, but, you know.
Another time. I'm just glad I got a stop it of a sort out of Travis in the intro.
That wasn't...
That's a record.
That was a
of a sort.
Full stop. That was just a full
of
stop
a sort.
That was a stop at level 2 right there.
See, Travis, you shouldn't have come back. Honestly,
I really shouldn't have.
I'm so sorry for you, sweetie.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's good to see all your faces again, especially you, Travis, after your break. It's good to have you back. Welcome back.
Lane has
let's lead on with you. Tell us about your trip through the Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon, if you remember Rugrats.
It was very hot. It was very dry. I hiked anywhere between 25 and 30 miles, cataloging over 87,000 steps. My calves were on fire. My
Not
knees
still.
were shot. It took, like, I don't know how many of you have been to the Grand Canyon before. But if you go there, you're likely to visit the South Rim more than the North Rim, as it's the more popular tourist destination. If you go down the Grand Canyon, it's very easy. Going into the Grand Canyon is a piece of cake. Going up it is a completely different story. And I made the mistake of trying to go up in the middle of the day. And we're talking like temperatures that are reaching like 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's brutal. Like, I kid you not, it took me anywhere between 5 and 6 hours to get up the wall on the third day of hiking, which is only 3 miles up or so, like 4.5 to 3 miles up. It's not a hike for a casual hiker, but my dad and I hiked from the North Rim all the way to the South Rim in a matter of 3 days. I carried 30 pounds worth of gear. We ate the instant meal, freeze-dried, just add water shit, and we didn't even have a burner because the little Bunsen burners that I bought needed a little attachment. And so we had to just do like this lukewarm water mixture, which honestly wasn't as bad as you'd think it was, especially considering like the desert heat actually kind of heated the water up.
So what you're saying is you enjoyed your adventure at boot camp.
I actually did. It was very much a needed break. It was a needed escape, and it was something that Dad and I actually really wanted to do last year before COVID hit, and I'm happy that we were able to do it this year. Those of you who are friends on Facebook, I posted a bunch of pictures.
Like the giant asparagus.
Giant asparagus, Utah agave.
Holy
Saw
cow.
rattlesnakes and
Danger noodles.
Oh, by the way, the freeze-dried meals are called MREs.
You know what,
And
Travis?
they're
You
so
actually,
yummy.
MREs are good.
Travis became a Pokemon trainer. He took his first steps out into the wild, and he saw a danger noodle.
I mean,
Should've
that's not
caught
the
it.
first time I've seen a rattlesnake in the wild. Arizona's full of them.
Well, better
All right.
danger noodle than a trouser snake.
And with,
Outside the
thank
Grand
you.
Canyon, but outside the Grand Canyon this week, I am also starting antidepressants. So mental health awareness, y'all.
Well, glad you had a great time and made some excellent memories. All right. Also joining us once again is I don't have the usual kitschy intros. Greg, how are you doing this week?
Doing all right. Explained a little bit ago that it's been a crazy week. My girlfriend ended up going in on Tuesday for emergency gallbladder removal surgery, which is as crazy as it sounds. She's back home. She's doing better. Other than that, though, yeah, it was actually handling a kid on your own that's 1.5 years old is not as easy as it sounds.
No, it's not. No.
See, okay, so I was going to make the joke that you could have just said it was Pokemon Gym Leader Kirkley, and with his wife having a gallbladder surgery, it's now the Rock Gym, isn't it?
Jesus.
You know, as you were making that pun, all I could think of was the fact that there is now 3 Pokemon fans on this podcast, and Carlos does not like Pokemon. We're gonna
He likes
start
Loki.
talking
You got to catch them all.
And Carlos isn't here, is he?
He
No,
likes
not
Lane. How does he not like Pokemon?
This is because Carlos is locked in Lane's dungeon. So, that's why he's not here right now.
But overall, my week's been good. I didn't do my live stream. I didn't do my typical live stream on my YouTube channel, but I will resume that next week. And I'm looking forward to tonight's show. It's going to be fun.
Now that's some real
Sweet.
ASMR. Listen to him opening Pokemon packs all night.
Oh, it's got that nice crinkle.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. The touch
Hold on, hold on.
smoothness.
There we go.
Oh, that's
You guys are gonna make me take my headphones out.
And speaking of crinkling, crackling, and popping, Raina, how are you doing this week?
This week was absolutely insane and rough. I think it was for everyone in the universe, apparently.
Yeah.
Like I had little good bits in between. I didn't stream for the last 3 days. I took some mental health time off myself. And I caught up on backlogs of just games upon games that I bought and that were still in the shrink wrap. Can you believe I had Star Wars Force Unleashed unopened?
That was a favorite of mine.
That game.
Yes.
So I finally got around to doing that. I had to step away for a bit. I had a lot of family-based chaos, a lot of ex chaos. So I was like, yeah, I'm actually happy to be here. This was my highlight. I was like, I'm going to make it till Friday. I need to make it to the podcast. I need to do this.
Yeah,
That's how I was too.
everything that went on in the last year, this podcast has been our saving grace.
So I will say I had a rough week, but seeing you guys has made it all worth getting there. So
Back at you.
Well, we're glad to be here, Raina. And as we go from crackling and popping to leaking and bleeding, Justin, how about you?
Hey, yeah. Well, it's not far off considering it's been the way it's been this week. So, yeah, I've had my own host of medical issues. My legs, I have a condition called lymphedema, which, as if you don't know, causes your legs to swell up, and eventually it'll get to the point where they will start weeping if you are unable to get them wrapped and treated properly. Well, the government, being the wonderful institution it is, has made it to the where you cannot get these leg wraps unless you either A, have an open wound, or B, your legs are weakening. Well, and guess what's occurred? So now I get to go through the process of treatment, which may or may wind up me being in the hospital next week. We'll see how that goes. Of course, everybody will know what goes on, but hopefully it's not going to come to that. They'll just be able to treat me here in the house, which is what I'm really shooting for. But we'll see.
We certainly hope that
it's
is
been a fun
the
week.
case. And rounding out the hosts, we have our wonderful Sun Seal. We are all excitedly waiting to find out where you are this week.
Well, first, I would like to say that I kind of dislike the new Tomb Raider.
Oh no!
I started the new rebooted Tomb Raider stuff Sunday, and I have been absolutely fucking frustrated with this Lara Croft. Like, just the sheer fucking incompetence of this girl who seems to know what to do and then ignores all of it until later. But yeah, no, that was Sunday. Tuesday, I was going to do Astroneer, but we had 2 days of rain. The power went out on Tuesday, and thank God I didn't stream on Tuesday because the house almost flooded.
Oof.
Flash flooding is a thing. We got like almost a foot of rain because when it rains heavy, the road outside will normally disappear. But it got all the way to the point that it was just 2 inches from pouring into the house.
Damn.
You almost became a real Tomb Raider.
Yeah, something like that.
You're a Zora. You're used to it.
I am, but it was Mother. It was Mother who was freaking out more than anything. So that's been that. As for where I am this week, hopefully this starts playing. I hope.
And
There we go. Yeah, no. Where am I this week? I'm just chilling with a bunch of postcards.
looking for the Deathly Hallows.
No.
Is that the Is that the 18?
Oh no! You'll know what this is.
Oh, it's England. Well, at least two things from England.
Are
I
you
saw.
out searching
just a
for the
moment.
island of Yamatai?
No, that's not this.
You're gonna meet the Queen.
I'm
Wait,
just
is this Assassin's Creed?
no. This isn't any Assassin's Creed at all. I'm just living out my life at the end of the world here in Russia.
Oh, Metro 2033.
This is the
2032.
Redux. This is 2033. This is the Redux
Okay, yeah,
version.
yeah.
Wait, what game is this? Sorry,
Yeah,
I cut out
that
for
is
you.
Metro 2033.
Oh.
It's an excellent series of first-person shooters based on a also very good series of books.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to get it. I got it whenever Epic was giving it
The
away
first
for
game
free.
It's fantastic.
The first game is actually surprisingly faithful to it, with a few
Mhm.
exceptions. No worm cult in the game, unfortunately.
no, but there is a bunch of weird, superstitious-y kind of unexplainable supernatural phenomenon. So there's that. I mean, it's also the end of the world, so radiation.
From the Russian perspective, so it's especially bleak.
Well, son, hopefully you're finding tons and tons of gas mask filters
From Mother Russia.
Absolutely.
And 7.76 rounds.
Hey Trey, welcome to the show.
All right. As for me, it's been a week. It's been hot working in construction. It makes it very hot, and I think this weekend I'm finally going to break down and find a way to route a Cat 5 from my router in the bedroom down to the damn basement because I'm tired of this. The extenders don't work. The power lines keep breaking. I need stable internet down here. It's pissing me off.
More power.
Praise the Wi-Fi gods. It's happening, folks. It's happening.
I'm about to make blood sacrifices to the gods of Wi-Fi at this point.
Hey, look, Ross, I'll send you a link to this Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable I got. It's really good, and you get it on Amazon for a good price. And I think you'll like running it better than you would a big round cable. So,
and I've spent the last 3 weeks routing Cat 6 through a data center. I think I know what I'm doing now.
That's your hope anyway.
This is the part where we make a pentagram made out of old routers.
So let's get into the subjects of the week. We have not one, but 2 shows to review this week. And holy shit, what shows they are. We've got our normal review of The Bad Batch and the premiere of Loki. So let's get into it. We got The Bad Batch this week, and finally, Chekhov's gun has been taken off the shelf and peppered and sprayed into the entire wall. We got Rex. Justin, spoilers.
Oh yeah, right. We almost forgot. Spoiled it. Spoiling away.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. All right, we got Rex. We got the chip activating. We got a fight through a wrecked ship. We got tense moments. We got Omega trying to be a hero. We got so much tension, so many long shots of rusted old wrecked ships.
I am so happy
and we got a bit of a problem with an outstanding debt. But there's hope for the future and Rex in the rebellion. Does this contradict Rebels? Does this give you interesting tidbits for the future? Thoughts? Travis, you're the most animated. Let's go with you.
First of all, I want to say that I am kind of bummed that I wasn't able to review the previous 2 episodes with you, but I'm also super happy we are still reviewing this and that it's only getting better. I absolutely, oh god, this episode actually had me on the edge of my seat for a while. If you guys remember last time I was here, I was expressing some concern with Wrecker because it wasn't exactly obvious yet, but he was definitely having the headaches. And I was starting to pick up, like, guys, they better not do it. They better not. And then, like, when I went to the Grand Canyon, they aired an episode where he straight up says, like, "Oh, good soldiers follow orders," and I'm like, don't do it, because like Wrecker is one of my favorite characters of this show right now, and
Definitely.
I said this last time I was with you guys. His relationship with Omega is such a big brother, little sister, Toru Jade Chan relationship that is absolutely adorable. And the show cannot lose that. Like, it is one of the, like, I kid you, like, I'm so invested in those two and just how much they care about one another and how much they're looking after one another. And just the fact that they, after every mission, go out and like get like $20 bags of popcorn or whatever the hell it is. Like, that's just too damn adorable. These guys are adorable. And if like Wrecker were to, like, the fact that Wrecker was that close to hurting her, like, I was like, oh, don't do it. Like, I knew that they weren't gonna kill Omega, but like, she could still be hurt. She's been put in some very close situations in this show, so I would not like have put it above like this show to, you know, have Wrecker hurt her somehow. And had that had happened, oh, that would have been just like just pulling at the heartstrings. Like, that would have been an entire episode after this just to spend on them, like, you know, Wrecker like atoning for that. And oh man, like, sorry, I'm just geeking out over just how much these two are adorable with one another. And
Welcome to the Super Geeks.
welcome to Super Geeks, where yes, great episode. I mean, yeah, like I was happy to see Rex, but again, he wasn't that much of a highlight. I was much more invested in what Wrecker was going through, honestly. So
I hear a
get away
cat.
from me, or I'm going to talk your guys' ear off.
All right, Greg, how about you? What were your thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna harp on what Travis said about the whole $20 bags of popcorn. Is like, because when Sid goes to pay them, it's like, you said this would be more. It's like, well, you guys owe me for the outstanding debt, this and that. And it's like, then of course they immediately cut to those two. And it's like, oh, put it on Sid's tab. It's fine. I was really, really happy with Rex's intro. And right away, the second they mentioned the inhibitor chips, hand is on his waist. He's like, I can't trust you guys, this and that. And so getting the inhibitor chips out was obviously a good idea. They were going to have to do it at some point. This is going to seem kind of dark. They should have they had the opportunity to really make this a little bit darker, like not your dad's Star Wars Rebels. Wrecker probably should have, in a way, hurt Omega. Like, he had that opportunity. It's like, and I know with the way they were playing, like, oh, you're a traitor, he would have killed her, so that would have been no bad. But I think they missed an opportunity to really dive into the darkness of that inhibitor chip. But of course, we all knew it was coming with Wrecker. It would have been more interesting to see one of the other snap burst before Wrecker, like maybe if it had been Tech or Echo. But they got it out, and I'm really interested to see where this goes from here, because now they don't have the chips, they can't be controlled anymore. Mm-hmm. So I really think what's going to happen now, since Sid is constantly popping up, I really think Rex is going to come back, because they're like, hey, if you ever need help, you know how to reach us. So I really think Rex is going to come back, or they're going to go, he's going to come back to help them. They're going to go help him. And Omega, though, she's really she's coming more and more to her own. So I'm really happy with that traction. And of course, they get caught. That last part of the episode, like, tell the Empire we found some clone troopers. And it's like, yeah, this is going to go downhill real quick.
Side note, real quick, I forgot to mention, I absolutely love Omega's laser bow.
Yes.
It wouldn't be fringe sci-fi without a laser bow.
I mean,
Someone's going to tear that apart again.
Raina, how about you? What were your thoughts on this episode?
I actually I kind of like that they actually did go a dark vibe. It felt very much like a horror movie in sections. When Wrecker lost his mind, he wrecked them. No joke. He lived up to his name, like destroyed them. I was actually just more tense than I think I have been in a long time with the show. But overall, I think the one thing that I'm kind of disappointed in is that I was hoping Rex would actually have a little more for them. Like, we have no idea what he's been up to this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad he's back, but I really hope that there's going to be future episodes with him. Because I feel like we're kind of owed that. What have you been doing since Clone Wars? Where you been? But overall, I think
hanging out on his ATTE or whatever the heck it is.
the one thing that I really, it's a small moment in here, but I really enjoyed it was even after all that, when Omega's at Wrecker's bedside.
Yeah.
Like, that really shows like she is all about the team. This is her family. And it was a really big, like, heartfelt moment. Like, even after everything she had went through, it was, I think it was a very well-written episode. And the pacing, like, I was, like, feeling like it just felt like 15 minutes. Like, it just flew by the whole episode. There wasn't really any slow moments in it. But I think they packed too much into this episode for, like, I know that's going to sound weird, but I feel like it should have been a two-parter. So we could have had more time between these things.
Well, if you look at it, it kind of is going to be because they didn't leave the planet. And they got that bit at the end. So, you know, we're definitely going to get a second part on that planet.
If I may, sorry, Justin, just the one funny part that finally hit me because it's Wrecker, of all people, asked the question we all ask, why the hell did we park so far away? But then they had the MacGuffin answer. That's why.
Right on cue.
I loved it. Why did we park over there?
But the one big thing that I'm really excited for is they have a way to bring Crosshair back now too.
Potentially.
Oh yeah, but especially because it said they'll alert the Empire at the end.
Like I was in the mindset originally, like, okay, you know what? I kind of want Crosshair to stay bad and be that kind of adversary that understands them more than like just have no secrets where he could find them out where no matter where they go. But I kind of would like the idea of something redemption. Like, the more and more I watch it and I see this group as a family, it feels like they're missing a brother. Like, you can feel it.
I mean, like, on that note, like, I wouldn't be against a redemption arc, but I do believe it is still too soon. Like, I do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I hope that he's an antagonist for, you know, I don't know how long this show is going to run. If it runs at least 5 seasons, I would hope that he is an antagonist for at least 2 or 3 of those seasons.
My ideal is this, and I'm going to say this now, is that I want them to have, like, I like those episodes where it's a false, like, hope. Where you're like, okay, they're going to get through to him. They're going to get through to him. And it just doesn't work out. I'd rather have that because those are the moments that really hit hardest. And I like a show to really make me feel something. This episode made me feel really just intensely about everything that's happened so far. Even looking back, like, I don't want to see anything bad happen to them. Like, you literally feel like, oh my God, like, this is a family. I can't see this family broke up any more than it already is. It's fantastic.
If I may,
one thing to keep in mind about Omega is that more than anyone, even with Rex, she understands what the inhibitor chip is. So
yeah, she's the one who told them about it.
Yeah, so her being at Wrecker's side, it makes perfect. It's her being her.
Now I'm sorry.
Sorry, Raina. If I may, though, the whole thing, I really am hoping this is the one show there is no redemption arc. Crosshair needs to be the villain for the remainder of the season and maybe season 2, but not to harp on it, but no redemption arc. The show needs to keep that dark semi-tone where they lost a brother, they're not going to get him back. And that
they're going to try, though.
They are going to try, but I would like to see that there's no redemption at the end. Like, keep a villain that knows them just as well as they know themselves, and just have that mess with them the whole time.
Here's a twist for you, though. Hunter chooses to stay after they remove his inhibitor chip with the Empire.
Ooh,
Ooh, that'd be intense.
that would be harsh.
Crosshair, thank you. I meant Crosshair.
The kind of the last thing I want to say about this whole thing, though, is just I really hope that we're going to be getting some more empire building. I love when they're doing that. Like, I know it was small things like showing how the credit transition works and everything, but I'm really into that stuff. So I wouldn't even mind like a whole Crosshair episode at this point, because we haven't seen him like 2 or 3 episodes now.
Yeah.
We haven't seen since the 3rd episode.
So I'm kind of curious of what's been going on. And I kind of like when they flip between the 2 groups, because you see how differently they operate. And I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that.
Well, I think we're seeing setup for that. I think we still got a lot of episodes of Bad Batch to go.
And damn it,
So,
more cameos. Ahsoka.
We've got plenty of room, not just for empire building, but rebel building.
Yes.
Because we found out that Rex is the person that the 2 bounty hunters were contacting,
right.
The 2 smugglers. So there is an early rebel network growing out, if not parallel to, but alongside with what was the name of it? Bail Organa and Mon Mothma are putting together.
And Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera. So these are still fractious elements. We might even see them start to come together in this series. There's a lot of possibility.
I think my only hope, like my only dream, and I know that they are not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole, but my dream, God, give us a Cal Kestis Easter egg. Seriously, I'd be so into that.
I was actually wondering if we might have actually been seeing that. As soon as they entered the ship graveyard, I was like, wait a minute.
I know that's where my mind was. Like, it looks like the same place, but in the daytime. So I was like, oh my God, if they do this, like, I wouldn't even mind him just in the background, like as an Easter egg. Like, that's how much I want that, because Fallen Order is like, they can try EA and Disney can fight all they want, but this, like, that story is amazing and it ties in so well. I just want that.
It's a great
or my other want is show us damn Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Are we gonna let Justin go?
I was about to say, right? Loving it, but let's give Justin a turn.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this episode. We pretty much thought this is what was going to be the outcome this week with Rex getting his inhibitor chip going berserk, because they kept hinting strongly at last episode. So it's we knew it was going to be a thing. As far as Crosshair goes, I see him being a season-long protagonist, maybe more. Like, he destroys the ship, so they can't do nothing about the ship, or they take the ship out, and he continues to serve the Empire. It's either or. I would enjoy it either way, because they're actually really doing quite good with this arc. So I hope they don't do anything stupid. I don't want an early redemption arc. It's too soon for it. If we do get one, that needs to be on down the line, if they do it at all. But it would be nice to have their primary mission to be looking for a way to cure Crosshair, or looking for a way to get their friend back. That would be, a nice little side mission for this little group. But we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. I mean, they've left it so open-ended. It's really kind of nice the way they're laying the story out. It's not set yet. So we got plenty of room to grow and plenty of room to go right now. So, yeah, I was actually really impressed.
All right. Well, Son, what is your thoughts on our impressions?
Here it comes.
So, Greg's right. No redemption. It's just going to be a little bit different than what you're thinking of. So they'll wind up getting to Crosshair. They'll wind up trying to convince Crosshair to change sides. And Crosshair will be shot in the back of the head by an Imperial officer. Because after all, The whole point is to get rid of all the clones.
That
So you'll never
Imperial-
find out if he changed sides or not.
that
That's
Imperial
true.
Empire.
If he's still running that same team that he had, then one of them would easily just do that. Like he would be training them so well and have that good soldiers follow orders. Well, there you go.
Or Tarkin will do it.
Yeah, Tarkin would be good, but I think
Tarkin
it would
would
be
be-
Ramparts because up to this
Yes.
point he's been so calm and wholesome and kind and generous. Let's see that vicious side that Imperial officers are known for.
Here's who will shoot Crosshair in the back of the head.
Omega.
Han Solo.
Oh god.
Because I haven't seen Solo.
Now that's a George theory.
I haven't seen Solo, but I know that he at one point works for the Empire.
Yes.
And I figure they gotta build up that, old reputation that Lucas ruined apparently of Han Solo needing to shoot first.
That was
I think
good
we're
timing.
I think we're still a couple years away from Solo.
I think we are because I think that's why he's still. But he was on Corellia when they were. I'm pretty sure at that point where they were Bad Batch on Corellia, he was there.
Yeah, but much younger.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I really hope that they don't go for that whole she's force sensitive though. I really hope because they keep hinting, oh well, she's different. She's different. Please don't do a Rey. I'm begging you, don't do it. I know the temptation's there, Disney. I know it's there, but please don't.
Like I said,
here's
I'm
the thing.
not against. Oh, sorry, Ross.
Because they aren't going to flip flop on our origins.
If I may invoke your old friend George here, I got a George theory. Omega is a clone of a Jedi Master growing up, but she doesn't know she's a clone of a Jedi Master.
That is quite the George theory, actually.
Yeah.
That's worse than pickled Snoke.
I am not. I am not
Well,
against.
excuse me, it's gonna be a female clone of Snoke, like Rey's a clone of Palpatine.
I'm not against Rey. Not Rey. Omega becoming force sensitive.
Right.
Again, I'm not looking if they do, I think it would be really cool to see her, tuning into the Force or learning to use the Force in a way that a typical Jedi would not. I am not looking for her to become this lightsaber wielding the show is doing great without that, honestly. The fact that this is honestly, I don't think we have seen a Jedi this entire.
Yeah, we did.
We saw the
very first episode.
If I may, Travis,
Order 66.
On that point, Travis, I like where Travis is going with this one. The only time I've seen someone use the Force non-Jedi, as he said, was in The Last Jedi. The kid just pulling a broom to his hand. If she's that kind of Force sensitive, where she's just like, "Hey, I can do this," and then just rolls with it, the way that kid, I know that 2 seconds we see the kid roll with it like that, I'm okay with it because then she'd be pull something to her or make focus it where it's she doesn't need a lightsaber. She has a laser bow, number one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So she can just basically develop her own skill and know that she can do some things where she's there.
My problem with it is it takes away from that. It's taking away from what she's learning so far because she's problem solving in unique ways. She doesn't need the Force. She's an interesting character. Every episode that she's been faced with the dilemma, she finds an interesting way to deal with it. That's what makes her different. That's the whole thing. She's improvising. That's the whole point. She's learning to use her environment. She's learning to use, the tech that's involved. She's learning to use everything from the start. If you just do Force, that's all it does. To me, the Force is such a cheat in the Star Wars universe. Oh, we can't do anything with this character. We don't want to push anything further. Just give him the Force. That's the best way to go about it. It's such a cheat. And I think that it takes away from everything she's learned so far. Why even do anything that she's done so far? I got the Force. It takes away from that. But I'm saying if she develops it, they've got to do it in a way where it's not used to get out of every problem, man. Seriously, I get sick of that. And I swear, if they do some stupid dagger MacGuffin that just happens to work years later, I'm going to be so upset. I'm still salty about that.
All right. I think that'll wrap things up for our discussion on the Bad Batch this week. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you guys for sharing your insights on this episode. But now it's time to roll in to the big one of the week. As much as I love Bad Batch, this Bad Batch as a series, each episode for me is a sandwich. It's good, it's satisfying, but it's not as savory as a fried chicken dinner. And that is what Loki is.
Well, you know what? Fried chicken's bad for you. It's greasy, and it's junk food, and KFC, and
it tastes so good.
And that's exactly why Ross enjoys Loki.
Hey,
Travis, why are you choosing violence tonight?
Hey, Travis, would you say it's coarse and it gets
Peace
everywhere?
was never an option.
Oh, but yes, I'm so looking forward to this one.
So we know Travis could never be part of the co-op Malat. Travis chooses not to live.
So we've been hotly anticipating Loki since it was announced. And holy shit, did this episode not disappoint. It picked up immediately after his escape in Endgame, where he picks up the Tesseract and he poofs out of existence. We got to see the entire sequence of events replayed. It was a glorious bit of nostalgia, and he shows up in Mongolia sometime in the past, and he barely has time to start monologuing to assert himself to the primitives of the area when out of nowhere portals open up and men and women in armor show up, and is the lead Minuteman lady the best?
She's great. She's absolutely
great.
Awesome. She's like, I
so
don't
awesome.
give a shit.
Just looking at Loki, who's trying to be all big and bad, like, come on, man, you ain't shit. Now, come on. Let's get this over with. At the same time, forceful, but also tired of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see guys like you at least 3 times a day.
Sorry, time out, Russ. Time out. Spoilers. Spoiler warning, Justin.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. And after a bit of temporal control devices, it makes him move at a 16th of time, but feeling in real time the pain of a bitch slap that sets his face wobbling.
Backhanded bitch slap.
That was so good. Like, I just got to say, I got to give a compliment to Justin. That was so good in the
There
thumbnail.
it is, yes.
There it is, yes. He's whisked away to the anachronistic but beautiful looking Temporal Variance Authority, the TVA. And holy shit, it was just every aspect of this just beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, every anachronistic bit of set and effect, and it just, from the brutalist and kind of weird pastel styles of the 70s to the hard buttons of the computers, the rotary dial telephones, the animation of the introduction, it was all so very art, not Art Deco. That's too early.
It seemed very 60s to me.
Is there even a name for it outside of 60s? I feel like there should be a name for it. Somebody with authority come up with a name for it.
Vintage?
What's that? Vintage. Okay. Vintage. I like that. An anachro vintage. There we go.
It looked very like Wakanda meets Asgard. That whole city. Like, it was like if you took
once
like
we see the city, we're still getting to processing.
Yeah,
and
but
like, administration of everything, all the bureaucracy that he has to go through. It's just that stack of papers. Sign this to verify this is everything you've ever said. What?
Sign that too.
Sign this too. This is ridiculous. Just the weight of endless, mindless, slogging, soul-crushing bureaucracy shuts up the god of mischief.
And then
Space
wasn't,
Bunny.
The god of mischief.
wasn't that
Not a
one kid
god.
from X-Men that
He's
was
a
in there?
puny god.
But still, Loki never has nothing to say, and they shut him up with paperwork.
I
And
just
it's
kind of
another
love
Tuesday
where
for them. So
I just kind of love where he's like going on and on about what a god he is, and like, and they have him doing this like he's in the DMV or something.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It like knocks him down a peg, man. I was actually rolling with that stupid ticket scene. I couldn't even breathe up.
Yeah,
front.
wasn't that kid that got evaporated? Wasn't that the one that was in one of the Wolverine flicks? Or the
I
last
don't know.
Deadpool?
I don't know. I have to go back and look because we only saw
He
him
looked
last
familiar.
night.
Sam Rutherford was the was the
Hey, the
guy
lady
who,
pushed me.
Also, there's a
Oh,
scroll in
as he's-
reception.
Okay,
There's a-
Travis first.
A scroll, yeah, a deviant scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking bits from all of space and time.
Well, they had that
We
drawer full
got
of
to meet
infinity
Morpheus.
stones.
What did you guys think of Mobius?
Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Morpheus, yes.
Oh, so
Slip of the
here's what
tongue.
here's what I think of Mobius.
Wow. He hasn't said it yet. I'm waiting for it.
Wow.
I love the pick of Owen Wilson to play Mobius. He is absolutely owning the role.
He is.
And he is really I noticed this somewhere. The yin and yang of this show is Loki and Mobius, because he's sitting there grilling Loki and Loki's sitting there taking it. It's like for every quip Mobius has, Loki has one right back. It's like, I'm a god. Okay, you're a god. And then there's like, okay. So it's I really like it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, and
Oh, and apparently there was an Easter egg of Peggy Carter in the reception.
Yes.
I love the whole DB Cooper thing.
Yeah, the DB.
That was so good.
And not just that he was DB Cooper, he flat out says, not that he was DB Cooper, that he's like, I lost a bet to Thor and I'm DB Cooper.
Oh, I loved when he got before the judge and he tried to flip the script and saying, it's not me who's the criminal. It should be the Avengers who went back in time and changed everything. They're the ones you should go after. Yet they were supposed to do that. You weren't. And he's like, what? Like, he is so used to trying to be in control and then slowly realizing through the course of the episode that he isn't. That he is that every single aspect of his life has been predetermined, and he can't accept that until he actually sees the course of his life.
Yeah.
And I really like that it was him seeing himself become a hero after a fashion that calmed him down. And I love how he flipped his own script, his haughty speech on the oppression of freedom and appealing to the weak to gain power is actually a reflection of himself.
My turn.
And then of course the realization that, wait a second, he has to test right. Are these Infinity Stones? Oh yeah, we get those all the time.
Oh, those are paperweights.
Paperweights. The most powerful force in the galaxy. This item that he coveted is just in a junk drawer.
Hell yeah!
And you're the variant with the blue box. Doctor Who reference. George would be flipping out over that one.
Yes, he would. Now they actually show Doctor Who. That would be something completely different.
Nah, they're not gonna.
No,
They're
no.
not gonna. That's the BBC they'd be fucking with. They're not doing. Not Disney's not gonna go up.
Drop a random phone booth somewhere, and maybe Not
Oh,
Now, if they showed a blue phone booth and somebody walking into it using a phone, maybe.
you know what? I was actually like saying to my mom because we had watched it together. 'Cause she's like a mega Loki fan, and
Tom
I just
Hiddleston or Loki?
both.
Both.
Yeah. But no, I looked at her and I said, man, nothing will humble you more than seeing yourself get killed by Thanos. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, so my take on this episode was, I said this during when we were in the pre-show, but this is the best freshman episode of a Disney series so far. From Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Carter to now. This is the best freshman episode they've had. What got me, though, is that they bring them, okay, and they say the God of Mischief, how you said, they shut him up with paperwork. That whole thing was mischief. They gave mischief to the God of Mischief. And so they're running through the ringer, and what got me, two things stood out. I'll get to the second one, but the first one was when Loki, you guys mentioned, you watched Thanos kill him. What got me and actually made me tear up a little bit is that Mobius, hammered into it, said that you killed your mother. He goes, you remember this part? Take the stairs to the left. He goes, here's what happened after that. And it shows Frigga getting killed. The way Tom Hiddleston portrayed the grief, anger, and depression in his face was absolutely amazing to find out that he's the reason Frigga's dead. And then to go on from there to find out that then in some way he redeems himself, becoming a better brother to Thor and trying to then help them. And then, of course, like you said, he dies at the hand of Thanos like that. It was a wake-up call to really be like, have Mobius like, why do you like hurting people at the very end? He just sits there. He goes, I don't like hurting people. It's like that was a reality check. And this is the second point I was going to touch on. I looked back at all the movies because there was something I read and I had to look at it. Loki is the only being in the entire MCU we ever see wield 2 Infinity Stones. Besides Thanos. In Avengers, he has the Tesseract and the Mind Stone and uses them both. He's the only person to do that besides Thanos.
He doesn't wield them necessarily at the same time. He possesses them at the same time.
He does use them though. Like he does use the Tesseract to disappear, and then he of course uses the Mind Stone to turn Hawkeye into his soldier. But he doesn't use them at exactly the same time. Right. But he is. If they're one that one's like, yeah, he has 2 Infinity Stones. He did use them, so it's like okay. But my gut check was when they show him being responsible for Frigga's death, and then of course going into the next part where he sees Odin saying, "I love you, my sons." I'm like, damn it. I'm just like, oh.
Honestly, to go off your point, Greg, I think the part that really got me is he really is the kind of the tragic anti-hero, because I think the moment that really got me is the realization of what Loki is when Mobius says, your existence is purely so other people can rise to who they're supposed to be. You're nothing, basically you're nothing more than a tool. And I was like, my God, that is like the saddest existence ever.
But then his own life was proof that wasn't the case. He eventually became something of a hero beside his brother.
Well, think about it. If he had never died, that would have never set the chain of events off, even especially for Thor to get where he needed to be to fight Thanos.
True.
Like it's funny that he killed Coulson, and Coulson was the catalyst for the Avengers actually working together, because it ended up being his death that got everybody back in the same place to fight Thanos. It's kind of like it came full circle, which I find it just absolutely interesting.
I'll go ahead and give a actually moment, and I will say that the Hulk used all 5 Infinity Stones in Endgame.
Ah, damn it!
As did Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes 4. Okay, let me go. Okay,
Justin. Justin, we haven't heard from you.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. It went the way they had all the Easter eggs explained it out. Because they did it in such a way to where it's subtle, but anyone who's watching other Marvel shows would be like, "Oh, wait, I know what that is." And yeah, pretty much agree with what everybody else has said here. It's what a hell of a run. It was good. I'm still looking forward to another next episode, and hope to keep this pace up. How many episodes are we getting this season? It's another 8 or 10.
I don't know. I didn't see.
I would assume
I'm
it's
gonna
8.
Google that. I'll Google.
Go,
it.
gadget, Google.
And
Hey.
while Justice said that, one thing I love that they touch on is that immediately off the bat, they don't make us wait for it like in Bad Batch, waiting for this thing to pop up, or even in WandaVision. By the way, here's why we're recruiting you. You're going to fight yourself. We need you to fight another variant of Loki. Right off the bat, I'm like, thank you. We knew it was coming, but we don't have to wait now.
The guy we're going after is you. What?
And it's confirmed it's Lady Loki. So it's like, it's not just you. It's you as a woman.
Wait. Who confirmed that?
Well, the casting. I know there's going to be different variants, but the running thing is that's going to be Lady Loki because I forgot the actress's name, but she is playing a female Loki in the series.
And in fact, one of the actual trailers has him sitting talking to the female Loki.
Yeah.
He's
Hunter Hunter B-15 is the name of the Minuteman that we all love.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, there we go.
6 episodes this season.
6 episodes? Oh, wow. They're going to be hour long.
So, can I ask you guys something?
I don't know, can you?
The predictions. I think that the bad guy's Mephisto.
No.
Hear me out. Like I think that whole scene that is big foreshadowing. I think we're supposed to think that it's going to be all these Loki variants, but I don't think it's going to be like super powerful Mephisto. I think that there's enough Easter eggs there because they were hinting at it the whole time in WandaVision and it never came to to fruition. I wonder if that's who it is when they're hinting at that big, like when the little girl points at the devil sign. Because like when you think of Marvel Devil, you think of Mephisto or Nightmare.
You see that point, but then if you look at it, the devil with the horns, Loki is known for wearing his big horned helmet. So it's likely that if this is Lady Loki or indeed another version of Loki, they're wearing the same kind of horned helmet. I mean, I can see the devil, but then at the same time, Mobius is like, well, what did it look like? And his horns is like, okay, my first thought was another Loki.
The reason I'm holding
we only saw a hooded silhouette of the Minuteman killer at the end there. So who knows what we're going.
Man, I'm telling you, if they better not do any of that crap that they were doing with Carter and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, it was so on the nose that it was annoying. You're the power broker from like the first 5 minutes you're on screen. Please don't do that again.
Yeah, because we build Sharon as the hero up until that point. I think this is Loki's hero moment. Like he's going to go from villain to anti-hero. He's going to be the hero of this one. So I really hope they just keep that track. It's like, you know what? We love Loki as villain. Now we're going to love him as a hero.
Do you think this gives him the grand scheme to be back in the MCU officially?
I think so. He might work out some sort of deal where he's like, Mobius might sit there and be like, where do you want to be? Because this came out, Matt Damon is playing Loki in Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
Wait, he already played Loki in Thor the third one, Ragnarok.
No, that's right. But Matt Damon is listed as playing Loki in Thor: Love and Thunder. So my thought is, with Hiddleston having done an interview saying jokingly if there's another Jason Bourne movie, my thought is that Tom Hiddleston's Loki is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder as a result of his work with the TVA. And there's another theory that was pitched that I read that Loki could be scheming, as he always does, to realize something. His mission was to be as powerful as Thanos, wield the stones and become the almighty powerful. Where is he right now? The most powerful entity in existence. He could be scheming his way to somehow be the head of the TVA.
Well, there's
one thing to keep in mind as we start to move to wrap this story up. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind what the next few films and releases in the Marvel series is going to be.
Yes.
And what is the purpose of the TVA? To maintain the divine timeline.
The sacred timeline, yes.
What's the Doctor Strange movie coming out?
Multiverse of Madness.
I think the TVA is going away, or at least is going to get severely wounded by the end of this. And whether it's inflicted by this Loki or another remains to be seen. So that's going to be interesting to find out about.
Last point before we move on. There was a big old card. Well, yeah, we dealt with this last time in the multiverse war. There it was. So.
No, you're all wrong. The Umbrella Academy shows up.
God damn it.
And on that note, I hope we get a 6th. I want at least
the only
thing born.
Damn it, Justin.
There's only one thing I want to add before we move on, if that's okay. If you guys watch a YouTuber called Emergency Awesome, he does some great stuff and breaks down all the trailers. One of the Loki trailers has him in the Eternals, like, you know, like where because they're reincarnated beings, and one of the events is like this, like fallout from a volcano, and one of the segments has him in that movie, in that same set. So they're like, is it going to cross over where he gets to witness one of the Eternals like sections of death? Like, that's going to be really funny if they do that to advertise that movie.
All right. Any final thoughts, Justin?
No, I think that covers it. Well done.
Me? Look,
You didn't watch it.
I haven't seen anything yet. I told you guys I'm burnt out on the superhero shit.
But this is supervillain stuff.
What I can tell you is from knowing the lore, and Miss Female Loki is also going to be a horse at some point. because she has to bear children. That's a thing that happens, like in Norse mythology.
That'll happen with Zack Snyder's take on.
But in Norse mythology, Hela is Loki's daughter, not his sister.
We'll see how Zack Snyder plays with Norse mythology and the Twilight of the Gods.
Anyway, moving away from Loki, I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I know you guys are too. Come back next week when we review the next episode of both Bad Batch and Loki. Now, on to our one and only Star Trek topic of the week.
Yay.
It was confirmed this week that Lower Decks Season 3 is in production. Are you choosing violence as well, Greg?
I mean,
always.
I had my finger on the eject button because I can just be like, bloop.
Oh, hey, come on. No.
I'm not going to
Lower
do that.
Decks is awesome. I'm looking look.
It is the second worst Trek. I'm just...
Fuck off.
We gotta shut up and fuck off tonight. We gotta get to stop it.
No, you're not getting this stuff.
He's immune to stop it now. We gotta do something else.
Well, we stopping him all out. I mean, we can try to provoke him with provocative imagery, but it just doesn't work.
The gloves are on, guys.
The gloves.
Yeah, we got this.
No.
My glasses are off, dude. My glasses are
or
off.
this.
My glasses are off. I can't see the screen.
Put the glasses on.
No, because there's an ugly glare on the lens.
With this, we know that Season 2 is pretty much complete, and we hopefully will be getting it soon. We'll get new Star Trek soon. That excites me.
August.
August 12th.
And with Season 3 in production, that means we're probably going to get a really quick turnaround, and that excites me too. What do you guys think?
I am super excited for this show. I have it over there on my nightstand. I want to see Boimler on the Titan. I want to see Tendy geeking out with Rutherford. I want to see all the cool shit.
So here's how Lower Decks is ruining Star Trek.
Fuck off.
I can't mute you. No.
You are just.
But okay, now
with Lower Decks Season 3 beginning filming, or at least the voice work, so then this means that we're gonna get 3 Trek shows next year? This is what we're getting this year, because we're getting 4 this year: Prodigy, Lower Decks, and Discovery. So 3 this year.
Prodigy,
3 this year, and then we'll get Picard, Lower Decks, and Strange New Worlds next year.
Strange New Worlds next
3
year.
and 3.
They
So
actually
that's
just
actually not bad.
They actually just finished filming episode 7 of Strange New Worlds, so keep
So
going,
we'll have
guys.
Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, Picard, and something else, and yeah, so 3 and 3.
Yeah, because I think I'm not sure if this is right or not, but I've heard they do 4 and 5 of Discovery back to back. Is that right?
They're doing 2 and 3 Picard back to back. Yeah,
which makes total
3's going to
sense.
be their limit.
Picard has got to end at 3. See, not that had to end at 3. I was thinking maybe 4, but with them and not acknowledging 2 and 3 being filmed back to back, I'm like, that's where they're going to cut it off.
Well,
But,
I mean, he's what 90? He's in his 90s. I mean, you know,
He's late 80s.
it's a proven fact. It's a proven fact. If you do Star Trek, you live forever. I mean,
well, just look at Shatner. He's like 100.
Not entirely true. Carrie Fisher lives forever. She did Star Wars.
She was also the baddest bitch alive, so
yes.
Yeah.
Ellen Ripley and Princess Leia. Come on.
No, just Carrie Fisher as an individual.
Oh yeah, she was a great person. Absolutely amazing. But anyway, this is about Lower Deck season 3.
So, what are your predictions for Lower Deck season 3?
But after he gets fired from the Titan,
He's not going to get fired.
He's going to transfer back off from the Titan because we all know it's coming. He's going to wind back up on the Cerritos, or what's your name? Going to wind up on the Cerritos.
He's not going to get fired. He's going to get promoted. He's going to go back to the Cerritos, where he will become the boss.
Ooh.
He's the senior officer that Mariner will be reporting to.
Or Mariner gets promoted and goes to the Titan and becomes
Mariner is never getting promoted.
With her track record, they're never going to promote her. She has the worst track record in Burnham.
Mariner is wasted as an officer. She should be an enlisted non-com. She should be a chief. She should be Chief O'Brien without the torture.
But she will never be better than Chief O'Brien.
There we go.
Hey, there's Travis.
I wouldn't say that she's never going to be promoted. I would say that she will be promoted when she's ready. She has many times said, like there's, I believe it was episode 7 when her friend substitute captained on the Cerritos, and she did say, like, if there was anywhere, like, if I would accept a promotion for anybody, it would be for you. But there's some things I got to figure out first. So the way I see it, she's probably, like, when they promote her, she's going to do it on her watch, if that makes sense. She will say, like, okay, I'm ready for this. If that, you know what I'm saying. Like,
right. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I won the season 1 Blu-ray from Lower Decks from Discovering Trek podcast on Twitter. In the contest they had, and I got notified that I won. I was like, yay! Early birthday present.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I think if with her relationship, I think the one person who would promote her would probably also be Riker, with the way she knows him. Like but she's not going to go to the Titan. But as Ross said with Boimler, he could get promoted, come back to the Cerritos and be like, hey, guess who you report to now?
That'd be awesome. I would totally be down for that.
I would also be down for Mariner going to the Titan and making Boimler fly hell.
So, this is all very interesting.
Uh-oh.
You guys could have predicted any fucking thing. It's Lower Decks, for Christ's sakes. And you're talking about the storyline. So here's my prediction for season 2 of Lower Decks.
I think Sun is choosing violence.
No.
We see a transformer off in the distance, really itty bitty in space. And it's Starscream.
Why did you just fucking put the Optimus Prime in it?
Because Optimus Prime doesn't turn into a fucking fighter jet in space.
But Optimus Prime can fly.
You do have the in-space Megazord. It looks like it's defiant when it's not transformed.
Okay. I could see the hilarity of an Optimus Prime being a fucking big rig in deep space, but at that point, it would be instantly recognizable that it's Optimus fucking Prime as Big Rig in Deep Space.
Okay, then let's do Optimal Optimus Prime from Beast Wars, where he can turn into a jet.
If that's the
The
case,
truck
why not?
monkey.
If that's the case, why not just have Black Arachnia instead and have her spin like a fucking UFO as a spider?
Keep your shitty 80s cartoons out of Star Trek.
Amazing
Hey,
80s
Beast
cartoons.
Wars is peak 90s.
It's true. Right alongside Big Bad Beetleborgs.
And then, of course, no, we got this,
Bad Beetleborgs.
Was actually an underrated
No,
show,
Justin, no.
honestly.
What is that? The Defiant? I can't see.
No, that's the
No, that-
Megazord from Power Rangers in Space.
I never saw Power Rangers, so there
Go
you go.
Power Rangers, go in space.
Go Power Rangers.
Anyway,
Disney did some strange shit to the fucking Power Rangers.
that was before Disney.
Way before Disney.
That was one of the last ones that Spawn had.
That was supposed to be the last one ever, but they did such a good job on it, they decided to keep going. Anyway.
That series had fucking Bulk and Skull back in it.
I mean, it looked like
Yeah.
they
It did.
looked like the bridge of the Trek ship.
Well, it was the 90s. They were all everyone was borrowing from Star Trek. That was peak era sci-fi. That was Babylon 5. That was Stargate. That was Cleopatra
Sequest
2525. That was DS9. That was Voyager. That was peak era sci-fi genre TV. It was glorious, and we'll never see its like again.
Trying to think of what else
So-
might have been aired during that period.
X-Files.
A lot. X-Files, yeah. There was all the sci-fi ones. There was Farscape. There was Lex.
We will never have
Airing at
we will
that
never have a
point.
decade like the 90s for sci-fi again.
All right, moving on from Star Trek. This
That
week,
face.
this week, Netflix produced its Geekend week, where it debuted a whole bunch of shit, a whole lot of announcements. I'm not
I
going to
missed
cover absolutely everything because there's 5 whole days of announcements. If you really want to get it all, you can check it out for yourself. But we got Easter eggs and updates for Army of the Dead and where it's going, a prequel for Army of the Dead,
Yes.
a Liam Neeson movie called Ice Road.
Jesus.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is back for a movie called The Last Mercenary.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep, and that was just day 1. Biggest announcements from day 2. Meet the Family, Oblivion, Wedding at the End of the World, Marigold, a lot of... Oh, Cowboy Bebop got an update. Yoko Kanno, the original composer from the anime, is composing for the live action.
Ooh.
The seatbelts are back, baby.
You know, whenever
We
I
got
hear
an
that
update
song,
on
I just think
Sandman. We got an update on the Sandman and its production. I'm really excited for Sandman. Stellar looking cast. It's going to be awesome. Day 3 was all about the wild stuff. Gunpowder Milkshake got an update. We gushed and scratched our heads confusedly about that one. Day 4 was all about the anime and animation, and we got a trailer for He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Revelations, and it was glorious.
So they
It
didn't want any...
also set off Twitter too.
Oh God, yeah, I saw that, son.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Positive. Let's focus on the positive.
We'll talk about that later.
Who
Modern He-Man.
did
you guys
some
will
of this?
enjoy that
You guys
show.
all
I will
In
skip
all, but
it.
still
Ross, you're really cutting out really bad, man.
Did he
I
freeze?
can't tell if he's
Yeah,
just staring at me or if he's frozen.
He was frozen.
I was gonna say.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Did everybody else?
Oh
caught
my
that
god,
Joker's
this trailer just made me gush.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The action, the art, the animation. Holy crap! That I watched the original series again right after my son was born. He was still a newborn infant. He really didn't get much out of it other than the light and the sound. But kind of reliving something that was just before my time was pretty fun. And night and day what we've got now. The hits of the combat. I mean, impact. You can feel it. They have weight, and I couldn't help but notice the Bayonetta move by Skeletor at the very end of the trailer.
Did anybody else notice Joker's in He-Man?
Yeah, Mark Hamill is Skeletor.
Did you notice that they made Wesley Crusher a badass in this trailer?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Wait, what?
He-Man abs have abs.
The little
Will
wizard
Wheaton's in this
guy,
thing?
Ross. The little wizard guy.
That was
that everybody's always
Oh.
hated in He-Man. That they've
Orko?
treated just like Wesley, they've treated just like Wesley Crusher for they've treated him just like Wesley Crusher. And in this trailer, he literally creates like a big, huge anime fucking circle and fires a Kamehameha wave.
Well, everyone's got a level up in this. I get, except for Prince Adam, he's got a bit of a downgrade.
That's not true. That's not true.
Had the same body type as He-Man in the original. Now he looks like a scrawny prince.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. We finally have fucking anime equality with this He-Man because Prince Adam has a fucking Sailor Moon transformation.
This is true.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay,
I absolutely fucking love it.
Okay, we got something that Son's excited about.
no, okay. This trailer, when I seen it, you could probably hear me screaming halfway across the building, going, "Holy fucking shit!" Because it was that fucking awesome. I mean,
and it was set to I'm the hero.
Yes. It was just like, oh my god, they're doing what? Wait a minute, they're doing this? It's the original art form, but updated. They haven't fucked anything up, and they're doing it 40 years later. Ooh, I want to know the story behind this. As apparently Travis does not have the power.
Apparently, it's a direct. But that's not all. We also got an update for Resident Evil Infinite Darkness.
I'm so
Bright
stoked.
Samurai sword, make my day. We're getting a new Gundam. No offense, really?
You guys and your weird cartoons.
Ross keeps cutting out so bad.
This is why we're dropping StreamYard.
You're one to talk, Travis, Mr. Pokemon lover over there.
Says the
Pokemon
fan.
is a normal thing to love.
You leave Pokemon out of this, son.
Yeah,
son, you're slightly outnumbered here. You got 3 Pokemon fans versus,
and so is Gundam.
If anything,
Gundam arrived in the States before Pokemon.
I don't care.
Hey,
so 2% I arrived before all y'all. So
did you guys actually watch the Resident Evil trailer? I love the joke in the beginning of it. There's a boulder, and Leon looks at Claire, and he's like, "What do you expect me to do? Punch it?" I was like,
"Did anyone happen to catch the Battlefield 2042 trailer?"
Yeah, it looks terrible. I think it does.
We're not there yet. That's the thing.
You keep cutting out, Ross.
On Netflix. We also got an update for Twilight of the Gods.
Yes.
Twilight and then Day 5. Which I know Sun has been gushing about.
I don't know what I've been gushing about because you cut out. You said day 5, and then all of a sudden, what I've been gushing about.
There's an update for Twilight of the Gods.
Okay.
A5.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Zack Snyder coming out with his take on Norse mythology. So it's a way of him doing Loki, Thor, and all that while stepping on the toes of Disney.
Ross is being attacked by the TVA.
Ross has overstepped his temporal bounds.
Ross, you didn't tell us you were in Loki.
So, day 5 of the Geek End gave us a brief trailer for The Witcher Season 2.
And we mean brief.
And a little bit more info about Ciri.
And man, do we
As
mean
well,
brief.
as well as updates about Castlevania and its spin-off show.
I mean, at this point, that's probably the only way Konami's going to make money on Castlevania.
Well, no, they got pachinko machines too.
Yeah, but try putting pachinko machines here in the United States. Come on.
Well, I mean, they got online pachinko machines.
Ugh.
We also got the announcement
Really?
of a Splinter Cell animated series.
About
Which makes me
time.
excited.
What the hell?
Yeah.
all
Jesus
this
Christ,
shit,
that's only taking that fucking lifetime for him to do.
all this stuff coming out, and they won't give me Jupiter Legacy Season 2. Fuck you.
No, but they are giving you a live-action Resident Evil series.
Yes.
I will
Finally.
trade Resident Evil for Jupiter's Legacy right now.
Get out of here. Get out of
Shut
here.
up, Raina.
You're fired. You're fired.
Finish him.
Haven't we already had 2 or 3 Resident Evil movies?
The only thing I remember from the Resident
Yes,
Evil
but
movies,
now
which
we're
I've
getting a TV
honestly
show that's
never
unaffiliated.
seen.
Listen, the animated stuff of Resident Evil is gold. The live action stuff is garbo. Stay away from it. This is Rika's PSA warning to not watch the live action Resident Evils.
The more you know.
You're welcome.
I remember
by the way,
seeing like
Greg-
the laser grid scene, and that's it.
That was the
Dude,
first one.
the animated is so appreciative of its origins, and it's made by the same director. I'm excited for it. Plus, Leon is just absolute eye candy. I don't care what medium he's in. I don't care. That hair is perfection.
So, any final thoughts about all of the announcements and teasers from the Geek End week?
Cobra Kai
Still mad at
Season 4.
Netflix.
I heard rumors that there was supposed to be some Code Lyoko follow-up that I guess like they canned at the last minute. I'm kind of pissed off about that, to be honest. I would really like a follow-up to that show.
Look, I'm still waiting for the next season of Knights of Sidonia. So,
Oh, yes.
and
Well,
that's been fucking years now. So,
Apparently, on the
Yeah,
whole Jupiter's
yeah.
Legacy thing, Greg, they're going to be doing another show that's going to be based
Super
on the
Chris.
villains in the same universe. Which, why not just do a season 2 of Jupiter's Legacy? You had,
Exactly.
I mean, it was
Because-
there.
because you can't make a season 2 of Firefly now. So, there.
Not Firefly. Quiet, Ross. Oh wait, you are quiet.
Yes.
You know what guys, you know what I'm surprised they didn't turn into an animated show yet in that medium is something like Destiny.
Ooh, that would be good. That
That'd
would
be
be
really
very
good.
good.
I don't know.
Give it a Destiny's lore is
couldn't-
rich.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the problem is you couldn't make that an animated series. Because, like, even the fucking development studio doesn't know what the fuck they're trying to do with that fucking game.
I never thought a guardian
struck a
could ever
nerve.
die. I never
Well,
thought
my-
a guardian could die until they did.
Dude, there's
My
a whole
daughter
timeline
is-
right now on that.
My daughter plays Destiny, and she complains about it constantly. And that's one of the things. Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing in this game.
Destiny puts me
Oh.
to sleep, so
Well, let's wrap up our coverage of Netflix. And as much as I'd like to cover the IGN Expo, there's a lot of stuff there, and we are short on time. So if we're so inclined and we actually have time, we might cover that in a separate show later on. Instead, an interesting topic came up this week, an editorial from covering a full-page, front-page ad for Netflix's Sweet Tooth. That in the ad had a series of articles talking about the hybrid children being born, their threat to national security, and other in character articles talking about the propaganda of these new beings, and of kind of teasing how they're seen in the show and how they're often hunted like animals.
And what newspaper was this?
That was USA Today.
Okay, that's standard for the company that was sued by the Rittenhouse kid and lost.
What?
No, it wasn't Rittenhouse. It was the Native American and the kid thing. They sued USA Today first. They sued USA Today first, and USA Today caved. So that's bog standard fare at this point. They need any money they can get after paying that kid. Shit.
But yeah,
this comes from Gizmodo. The story comes from Gizmodo, and it's a very long editorial piece talking about how irresponsible this kind of advertising is on the front page of a newspaper. And initially I was kind of hesitant to talk about an editorial piece, but the conversation that it's trying to spark is an interesting one. That is it responsible or even ethical to run an advertisement as presented as an article in the first place?
Yes.
I don't see why
it's
not.
done all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's done all the time. It's nothing new.
I guess I guess it just really. I honestly don't know how to answer that, because you have tabloids which run crazy headlines like that all the time, but you also know that the tabloids are tabloids and not exactly the New York Times. USA Today, I don't know. Because, like, in one hand, like, I think it's a very fun idea. You have something like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds being broadcast on the radio with this kind of advertising. And on the other hand...
Which I honestly think they were trying to go for at that point.
But on the other hand, I do believe that something like that covering... Like, the front page should really probably be dedicated to something that's actually very much important to what's going on in the day. Or, like, something very... Like, something important. Something actually happening rather than, you know, a big advertisement for a show.
Can I ask you guys, like, I'm not understanding the issue. Can you, like, explain it? I think I'm just a little bit slow tonight.
Okay. USA Today ran an advertisement for their show Sweet Tooth, a series about a young boy who is he has deer ears and antlers, and it takes place in a time when people are giving birth to human-animal hybrids spontaneously, and people are seeing these mutations as a sort of aberration. They're calling them threats to national security. They're calling for discrimination, oppression, and in some cases, outright genocide of these individuals because of
it sounds
who
like
they
a
are
new
and what they
X-Men.
look like.
I was thinking that.
I was actually thinking...
except they don't have superpowers, as far as I know.
So
Their
what's
superpowers are
the
their
moral
animals.
dilemma here? I mean...
That Netflix ran a full-page ad on USA Today. a full page, front page ad. And the headline for the ad was literally a headline and article. A lot like H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds.
I don't really see an issue with it. I've seen crap like this. I remember when Dante's Inferno came out and they did like the whole fake, like, just who can commit the worst sin and get a free copy of the game. Like when EA was doing things like this, it's like, we really, like, I don't know. Like, I find this whole thing, I find it hilarious that we're actually arguing this. Like, are we really surprised that companies are doing this now?
No.
No.
The issue isn't about surprise that they're doing that. It's the issue is should they be doing it in the first place?
Damn, I think my internet might be going out here.
I mean, no, they shouldn't. But I mean, that's the whole obvious answer to it. They shouldn't be buying any ad space on the front page of a paper. It's ridiculous.
Papers are desperate for the money. So, I mean, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, it's one of those corporate disgusting things. This is the same company that promoted Cuties as hard as it did.
Oof.
Yeah.
Which was, like, very cringe.
Oof.
Like, Netflix doesn't make good decisions.
Don't start that discussion. Don't start
that
discussion.
I was going to say, I've got my own thing on Cuties saying that if you think Cuties is bad, be a cheerleader, then talk to me.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
I'm just saying that that Netflix, like anything that's in Netflix's wheelhouse, they have made some of the worst decisions. They're like the EA of streaming services.
They're
like, minus the microtransactions, it's just bad decision making on their part.
Bad decision making that's netting them more money than Disney in the streaming market. Still, I mean,
hey, exactly. I'm looking at you, EA. You make a lot of money and you make a lot of bad decisions.
I would say Stadia is the EA of streaming services.
Stadia is.
I don't know.
What Stadia?
Who's Stadia?
Exactly.
Stadia again.
EA isn't even EA anymore.
EA is the looming shadow that overlooks the gaming industry.
And apparently Xbox
is the homeless guy hiding in the alleyway.
And then apparently Xbox and Microsoft getting ready to start their own cloud gaming service. So
that's right.
It's
so you guys are mostly talking about Netflix and all of this, and from my standpoint, like. This is par for the course for the loss of ethics in what is the news media. Period.
Oh, that's been gone for decades.
That's been gone for a while. It's only getting worse.
But this is the problem that we have is that people are expecting like news media outlets to be responsible. Look, it's up to you to find this information nowadays. Like the news media hasn't been reliable in a long time. I mean, even if you look at, we're a completely unbiased news source, and you see all these people that are paying into it on their website, like just millions of donors. You can't tell me that they are not bought.
Fair and balanced.
Speaking of, Brian Stelter of CNN was on C-SPAN the other night, and it was about his book, his newest book, and they had people calling in going, "You are the minister of misinformation," because of all of the shit. Because Brian Stelter on CNN has literally said, "Don't go watch other sources. You can only trust us." He said that on fucking air.
Yeah, he said that. CNN has said that a lot, not just him. They have a reputation for that.
What do you do?
If I may, about what Son's touching on, the whole news media. This is a poll done about 10 years ago with two of my favorite shows of all time, The Colbert Report and The Daily Show. They did a poll on Fox News, CNN, ABC, all these networks took part. It was the age group between 18 and 35. The majority is like 65% got their factual news from Colbert Report and Daily Show.
Because they were more trustworthy.
Yeah, they are trustworthy. Exactly. They didn't spew bullshit. It was comedic takes.
And you notice the moment Colbert quit and the moment Jon Stewart left,
it tanked.
The Daily Show fell to shit when the Noah guy took over.
I wouldn't say it fell to shit, but it's just that because I argued this, that if Jon Stewart was still doing his show, Hillary Clinton would be president. But Jon Stewart had that kind of influence that's like, yeah, I got my factual news from Jon Stewart. I passed history ethics classes because of Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert. So it's like, that's where I'm standing with like news media. It's like, if you have to be funny, Jon Stewart is coming back to television with Apple. He's going to be bringing back a show similar to Today's Show coming back. Colbert with CBS, he's got to be more PC because he got in trouble for playing his character. So,
well, he's not doing a news show anymore. He's doing a late night
talk show, right? And Viacom got pissed at him when he was playing Stephen Colbert, cousin of Stephen Colbert, so he got a cease and desist. But it's just that, yeah, CNN, they all suck. It's just like, there we go.
Let's move away from this. I'm just thinking of
yes. So you're all fans of The Boys, right?
Yes.
I've never
First
seen
look
it.
at Soldier Boy.
And is it fair to say that some of you are also fans of Supernatural?
Never seen that either.
Always.
Damn it, Travis.
Men in it since the beginning.
Well,
Wait,
Supernatural recently went off the air. It came to the end of its run, much to
15 years.
satisfaction and tears. Well, now the actors are off doing their own thing. Jared Padalecki is now the new Walker, Texas Ranger, and Jensen Ackles is now Soldier Boy.
Captain America.
The boys' version of Captain America.
Wait. Back up. There's a new Walker, Texas Ranger? What?
There is a
Yeah.
new Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And it's not
Okay.
Chuck Norris.
It is not Chuck Norris.
It's nothing like Chuck Norris.
It's funny that Jensen Ackles is Soldier Boy when he auditioned with John Krasinski for Captain America and they both lost out on the role.
You know what, though? He actually looks really good in costume.
He
I'd
looks
bank it.
very un-Jensen. I hardly recognize him.
Okay, and you know what? This is
Justin,
actually
throw it
funny.
up there.
It's actually funny that you guys had brought this up. I actually decided to watch when Supernatural ended the first couple episodes of the new Texas Walker Ranger. You know, I was like, I watched it and it's him playing Sam in Texas. Seriously, like his mannerisms and everything. I'm like, Jesus, he only knows this one role anymore. That's all he knows is Sam. He knows Sam Winchester. That's it. So God, please let.
Well, that's like Mark Hamill playing the Joker and playing Skeletor. It's just the Joker is Skeletor. It's like he knows that.
Yes.
Mark
Oh,
Hamill's
no.
got good enough range. The voice is similar, but the characters are different.
Jared Padalecki is going to end up like Jim Carrey. Well, Jim Carrey was good in this movie. Yeah, he played Jim Carrey.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is playing Ryan Reynolds of Detective Pikachu and Deadpool. There we go.
Every
Don't
Ryan
you go
Reynolds movie.
trash talking my Detective Pikachu movie.
Actually, no. I watched Ryan Reynolds way back in the day when he was Van Wilder, and that movie's hilarious. If
Blade
you haven't
Trinity?
seen it, watch it.
Blade Trinity was good too. He was good in that.
He did a lot of good rom-coms. Don't ask me how I know that. I won't answer you truthfully.
You know, it's kind of sad that the best Adam Sandler movie is where Adam Sandler isn't even Adam Sandler.
That's not the image, Justin.
The Hotel Transylvania movies.
Uh-oh.
Sandler isn't Adam Sandler in those movies.
Hey, I like the Hotel Transylvania movies.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
They're
I
great.
can't stand them.
That's what I'm saying.
Here. Okay, so hold on. Here, I'll take you back. I'll take you guys back further than Hotel Transylvania. Adam Sandler is Adam Sandler in 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh.
Forgot that movie existed, didn't
Night,
you?
everybody.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That movie lives rent free in a small corner in my head.
There's an abandoned Blockbuster somewhere where that's the only DVD that remains.
Family Video, not Blockbuster. My favorite Adam Sandler movie is Click.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
it's okay.
There
Thank
we go.
you.
Gilmore.
That's the one.
Happy Gilmore's hilarious. Yeah, he
That's-
looks good.
that's- It doesn't look like Jensen though.
That's the
beard,
point.
It's so wrong.
See, so here's my problem with this. I feel like that's a screenshot of a soldier for the Command and Conquer series.
Oh my god!
And he's GDI.
You know what? They're giving him a look like He's looking like Soldier 76 from Overwatch. Like, what the hell? It's the Zack Snyder Soldier 76.
No, it's the Uwe Boll Soldier 76.
Oh,
Don't give him ideas.
Blizzard wouldn't do. Blizzard has some standards left. I hope.
Yeah, you hope.
Oh, serious. Oh.
I'm an optimist. What can I say? All right, last topic of the night as we wrap things up. That was announced this week that Lord of the Rings is getting an anime.
Yes.
The War of the Rohirrim, which it leads to the canonical story of the creation of Helm's Deep.
Yes.
Both the fortress and the keep itself.
I have 2 words for this.
Yes.
Who cares?
I do. I care.
He does.
Says the
I'm
variant.
sorry, but like,
This is the same kid who gets all uppity when Mr. Kirkley up there goes, I don't give a shit about Lower Decks.
Because Lower Decks is actually great.
You're serious?
Oh, you're serious?
That is how the rest of us feel about the Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings lost its charm after the trilogy. I'm sorry, but like, in terms of like a literature series, it's fine. As a like film entertainment, I'm sorry, but like there are a total of 4 things that I like from J.R.R. Tolkien's universe here. You have the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you have the Rankin Bass adaptation of The Hobbit. Those are the only things I will watch.
You're a damn dirty variant.
Here, Travis. Lord of the Rings is the greatest film trilogy of all time. I'm sorry, it's better than it is better than Star Wars. It's better than the Dark Knight trilogy. And hold on. Lord of the Rings is better than Lower Decks. It's better than Discovery. It's better than...
All right, let me take this in a different way.
You're just trying to get under my skin at this point. That doesn't work. That's not how this works, Greg.
Okay, Lord of the Rings is good, but Greg is like wrong on like 90% of those.
Listen here. The Lord of the Rings has an expansive library of source material.
Yes.
The Silmarillion alone could fuel dozens of TV series and movies.
Staring at it.
I'm sure it could, but here's the little Jeff Goldblum thing I'm going to throw at you.
Oh dear.
You could, you spend your time asking yourself if you could do this. You didn't ask yourself if you should.
Why not?
Okay, guys, why are we even talking to him? Travis is a variant, obviously. They said the wrong one. They sent the wrong one back from the Grand Canyon. He altered the timeline.
Is Lane threatening your family? Is this why he's here? Is this why he, is he making you say these things?
Lane is evil.
Dude,
is that really Carlos trapped in a doll?
Well, you guys know the punishment for bad-mouthing Lane.
Oh, I'm not bad-mouthing him. I'm just saying.
We know what happened to Carlos, because we know what you did to Carlos. That's why he hasn't been here in the last 3 weeks.
My fish are going crazy.
I like how Travis looks to the left like
the fishes.
It's like
he says his fish is like, okay, that's very Godfather. I'm taking him to the fishes. Sleep with the fishes.
Well, that's what happened to Carlos.
There's literally like legit. My fish tank is right over there, and I keep cichlids, and they're kind of territorial right now. So
I just picture Carlos in like some giant terrarium
with a buffet.
All right. We're doing this for the record, everybody. This is my fish tank.
Look there, do you see him? It's Carlos.
The way I see it is the more Rohirrim, the better, because they're one of the best parts of the entire film series.
And
so if we get to see men on horses, if we get to see a fucking shield maiden,
what?
That's a porn parody. Men on horses. Tolkien porn parody.
You guys wrap this up so I can go to bed.
Oh God. Men on horseback. Oh god, that's even worse.
Brokeback horseback.
Men and women on horseback. I don't think I can say this right without getting twisted.
You guys,
Hold on.
you guys nearly...
Men and women mounted on horseback. Nope.
Guys, how come it's always Sun that always gets me? You guys try too hard, and Sun's over here like, oh, it's a porn parody.
Because I don't try to get you. That's the
exactly.
thing. See,
These
that's
guys
the
try
thing.
too hard.
You guys try way too fucking hard, and here I am, just like, dudes, you guys are just too hard.
We all know there's only one way to get to Travis.
There it is. You got to stop.
All right.
All she had to do
That
was
wraps
say,
up all of our topics for today.
Except for,
thank you guys so much.
If I may, since we're wrapping this up, 28 years ago today, Jurassic Park was released in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't see it until I was in high school.
And we found out that an Asian man fucked us all in Jurassic Park. Because
Hey, I got one better than Greg. 40
Don't
years
you-
ago today, I was born.
Christ, you're old.
Shut up.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, buddy.
I just realized it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
He's like, it's officially my birthday.
Is Ross gonna sing?
Like I was born at like 12:01 a.m. or some crazy number like that. But hey,
Hey, there's Ross.
Ross,
there
you
you
gonna
go.
sing for him?
So if
Ross,
anybody
Ross is just leaning
Be
back,
rebelling
and
on
letting
these,
us ride,
we'll call it for the night.
wait for it, is he good?
That will wrap up our show for the night. Hopefully, my internet holds out long enough that I can actually do an outro and segue into Florida Man. For those of you who joined us tonight, thank you very much for watching. We love it.
Wow.
Are we not doing What Are We Watching?
Are you skipping what were you watching?
No, here guys, let's go with what we were watching.
His internet can't handle. His internet
Get that,
can't
Justin, get
handle
that,
mood
Justin.
of that magnitude.
Yeah.
So as we wait for Ross to come back, let's go ahead and let's do the whole what are we watching, and I'll go first, and then we'll go from
first.
there. Of course, I'm watching Bad Batch and Loki, but definitely looking forward to probably watching reruns up until anything new comes out. I don't know if anything new, so rewatch Star Trek. Let's go to Ray now.
Yeah, all the Star Trek shows are now on Paramount Plus, with the exception of 2 movies, and that is Into Darkness and the 2009 reboot. That's the only 2 that's not on Paramount Plus. So if anyone gets in the mood to watch all the movies, it's all in one place, just about.
I'm looking that up right now. Ross, you there?
I'm here.
All right, Ross, what are you watching?
The wife introduced me to a new show this week called the Manifest, about a group of airline passengers who, on their flights, experienced extreme turbulence, and when they landed, it turns out they were actually gone for 5 years.
Ooh. If I may, Ross, did your wife and you finish Lucifer? He froze.
Of course he did.
Okay, Ross, did you hear me or no?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay. Did you finish Lucifer?
No, we have not finished Lucifer yet.
Did you get to the karaoke one though, or the?
No, we have not.
Oh.
Moving on.
So, in the course of the show, not only are they catching up on the 5 years that they missed, they are also manifesting strange abilities. The ability to see and perceive things that aren't there, and the amount of drama that causes from them thinking they might be losing their minds.
Sounds
There's
like
a lot of mystery why they were kind of suspended for 5 years in nothingness? And what is the nature of these abilities that now come all together? The circumstances that seem to be working in their favor. Lives are being saved. Mysteries are being solved as more mysteries pile up upon themselves. 1 episode so far, and all of that. So it's going to be interesting.
Justin, you're muted.
What platform is that on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh,
I'll have to check it out.
Raina, what are you watching?
I watched the Bad Batch and Loki, but honestly, the thing that caught my time is I went and got all the endings in the Night in the Woods. I actually went and bought 2 physical copies this week because I like the game so much, and the game really spoke to me. Main character comes home from college, things aren't working out, trying to find her old life. I really resonated with the things I've been going through lately, so. If you guys haven't played it, it's constantly on sale. It's on Game Pass. Fantastic. It's worth every second. So awesome art style, great soundtrack, good characters. So check it out.
Travis, your turn. What are you watching?
Well, I haven't had too much time to watch much of anything, but
Variants.
But I'll go ahead and cover the last couple editions of Disney Roulette that we managed to do.
Oh.
Before I went to the Grand Canyon, we actually pulled a mediocre film. We pulled The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, which
mediocre.
Which is one of the like more like better straight to DVD Disney sequels that Disney put out there. But in the same way, I also very much have a like. There are so many things that I absolutely loathe about that movie. Like, there's one of the lion characters who's a villain is so goddamn annoying in that movie, and I absolutely just do not like Timon and Pumbaa that much anymore. They just
mediocre.
But the week before that, we actually pulled a better movie. We actually pulled a movie that I had not seen before. And I don't think a lot of people have either, because it's kind of like once it released, it went right back under the radar and no one's talked about it since. We pulled Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, and you're calling Lion King 2 mediocre.
That was bad.
Stop it.
What are you talking about? I thought Meet the Robinsons was fucking charming.
Meet the Robinsons is an underrated gem.
It's an overrated gem, and that's saying a lot.
Now I know you are a variant, and your name now says so.
No, stop,
Travis. You're. That's such a bad take. Like somebody clip that.
No, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
You defend your stance. Why is Meet the Robinsons worse than mediocre? I want to know.
In comparison to Lion King 2, it's Lion King 2's watchable.
Lion King 2. Hey, we did Hamlet last time. What do we do this time? Romeo and Juliet.
Ross, are you like 80 something?
Ross is probably younger than I am.
Oh, I'm not even half 80 something.
I'm just tired. that Lion King 2, that was like the killing blow right there. Like,
all right, let's go to
what I like about Meet the Robinsons was that it had a very fun villain. Like when we do this, we love playing this board game. That is not Disney. I can't remember who made this board game, but its focuses on Disney villains. And you play a Disney villain, and you basically the board game is called Villainous. If any of you have heard or played it, it's very fun. You play a Disney villain, and the object of the game is to fulfill your villainous deed and out villain everybody else. And when we watched Meet the Robinsons, I was watching the villain. And I was like, this needs to be in Villainous. Like, this villain is just really. I was just having a blast with him. And yes, there are some predictable story elements here and there. And I thought that the way that they resolved the whole hat invention thing was pretty silly. But I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with Meet the Robinsons. Yes, it has dated CGI, but I didn't really care. I was pleasantly surprised with this movie.
I guess I can say I've seen Meet the Robinsons, but it's called Lost in Space.
Oh, Greg, I love you tonight.
Not the 98 movie.
The Netflix series.
Okay, that's good too.
The 98 movie, we just ignored the 98 movie, like, the Fantastic Four. We pretend it doesn't exist.
I refuse to.
Well, it has one thing going for it. It has one thing going for it, and that's, dang it, what's the name of the actor? Dr. Smith.
Gary
Oldman.
Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith. Perfection.
Spiders.
All right, let's move on. Son, what are you watching?
So, you'll get an interesting kick out of this. I watched a 5-hour YouTube video called "The Fall of Doctor Who."
Oh,
in which I'm going to assume non-binary person goes point by point through the Jodie Whittaker seasons of Doctor Who and does nothing but constantly tear Chris Chibnall's asshole wider and wider and wider as a writer.
Ooh.
That sounds
for
painful.
5 hours?
Yeah, for 5 fucking hours.
That sounds like
the first hour and a half is I'm just going to say is her going through episode 1 and 2 linearly.
Jesus.
Because of the writing that makes no fucking sense.
I would be skeptical of the claim of it being 5 hours, but I am waiting on a review of the live-action Lion King from YMS, which is probably going to be roughly the same length, if not longer.
Look, Ross can back me up on this because I literally linked him to one. I literally linked him to this. I watched a 7-hour review of Death Stranding. On YouTube.
Yep. Does Death Stranding even take 7 hours to play?
It takes longer than 7 hours to play.
I spent months live streaming Death Stranding from start to finish.
He did.
Yes.
It consumed
it
his
takes
every
much
being.
It's a Hideo Kojima game. It's 12 hours minimum.
True.
Yeah, it consumed his every being for months. Like, what are you playing, Ross? Death Stranding. What are you playing, Ross? Death Stranding. I live in fucking Death Stranding. I'm humping a controller. Death Stranding. There's actually video of him doing that.
He was doing that on the show.
While we were doing our Mandalorian after show back in season 1, and he hasn't seen the episode yet.
Here's Ross shake weighting his PS2, his PlayStation controller.
We're just sitting here in mid sentence, and I just kind of stop, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, Ross?" And everybody else just kind of stops and looks and starts watching, and Ross can't hear us because he's got us muted. And we're just watching him hump his controller in the background, and we're just sitting there
I
laughing.
was soothing BB in the tank
and humping the controller in the process.
But yeah, no, 5 hours of this lady just tearing out Chris Chibnall, just ripping his spine out of his body because of the shit that makes no fucking sense in what we have and this is a complaint I've had about the Jodie Whittaker series. I love her as the Doctor. I can't stand that the best writing Chris Chibnall can come up with is leaving us with the mystery with the Black Lady Doctor. That was the best part of Chris Chibnall's run so far, and we're not going to get anything of it.
I think you need a hug, son.
We all need a hug after watching that season of Doctor Who.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so.
Damn it, Travis. Variant.
God, who are you?
You guys know I've never seen Doctor Who.
Even I've seen Doctor Who.
I mean, look, Travis, I know you've been away for a couple of weeks. I apologize for them seeming to have literally had some kind of memory loss potion in that time.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm sorry, I forgot my Remembrall.
Hey, I haven't watched since the end of part 1 of Capaldi's last season. I still haven't been back to catch up.
You're not missing much.
All right, some of us are starting to tune out, so let's wrap things up. Who hasn't gone yet?
Yeah,
Justin.
I've literally gotten to the end of my footage, and it's starting over.
Justin, what are you watching?
I've actually not really watched too much other than, of course, required shows. I've been playing Space Engineers all week. It's kind of fun to get back into the building and the resource gathering, and it's soothing to have your own creative flow in the game, but not worry about shit coming at you or having to survive getting jumped by Fergoids. But it's fun. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. That my legs and everything else that's been going on. Yeah.
All right, is that everybody?
I think so.
Yes, sir.
All right, most of us are tuning out, and let me see if I can get this up before my internet rebels again. All right, that concludes the show for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of you, my fellow hosts, for sharing your thoughts, your enthusiasm, and your love. This makes my week, and I know it makes most of yours, so thank you once again. And everybody watching tonight, thank you all for watching. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are one of the reasons that we keep doing this as well. So thank you for support. You're liking these videos. You're sharing it and word out. Let people know who we are so we can continue to make more and bring joy to other people too.
Amen.
Oh, and programming note, we are... Sun goes first, then you. Come on. Come on. You're just trying to... You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Variant.
Programming note. We're going to continue doing these shows on Fridays, though going forward, we're going to try to shoot for earlier times so some of us can sleep. We'll let you know what those times are when we figured that out. We'll also see some formatting changes as we change services, as Streamlabs is nice but expensive.
StreamYard.
I said StreamYards.
You said Streamlabs.
You know what I mean.
We're moving from StreamYard to Streamlabs.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be...
you are
real quickly now.
Idiot, not you, Captain.
Real quickly now. As everyone can see on the screen for those who are listening, Justin, where can people find you?
Twitch TV, Commander Sepper.
Raina, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/RainaWolf.
Greg, where can people find you?
You check out my Instagram at Craze Pokemon Go Raider. My link to YouTube channel is also there.
Travis, where can people find you?
No corner of their mind.
Where can he find you on Twitch?
I don't know if he wants to share that.
What's that?
Do you want to share that?
Your Twitch?
Or what?
Or your social media?
Maybe later.
For those of you who don't know, Travis is the admin of the largest Star Trek fan page on Facebook.
I'm kind of still in a bit of a leave of absence, so I'm slowly but surely starting to come back. Speaking of which, if any of you people are watching, if August treats me well, I might be doing a top 30 of Star Trek's most underrated episodes very soon.
I'm down. I'm so down.
And Sun, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Suncio.
And if you're watching on Twitch, you're already here. Twitch.tv/live_love_play. Thank you all one last time. Son, if you would please.
Well, I mean, you stole my line earlier. Honestly. You did it twice. You tried to do the outro once and you said it, and then you did it again now.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, but you have a
Girls.
very specific way of saying it that it does so much better than I.
We're all variants.
We're breaking the timeline.
You are all loved and appreciated by just your being you.
Thank
And
you.
please remember to spay and neuter your plushies.
All right.
Ah.
Play us out, Justin. That concludes the show. If you wish to stick around, we will be carrying on into our post-show, the Florida Man segment. So if you want to hear what the fuck is going on in Florida this week, now's the
Lots
time.
of crazy shit.
Lots of crazy shit. I will be shoving off, so thank you guys again. Love each and every one of you. I'll see you again next week.
Thanks,
See you
Russ.
next week.
See you,
Bye,
Russ.
guys.
I'm taking off too, guys. Gonna get some sleep. Travis, good having you back. I will see you guys next week.
Travis, you got to stay
Bye,
for
guys.
Florida Man.
No, I'm tired.
Aw.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm out too because medication issues, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay aware.
Well, okay.
Night, guys.
Right. Well, we'll just do a couple Florida Men, I guess. Unless you just want to call it for tonight. Everybody left us. Son?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was still muted. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll start us off.
Okay.
Naples.
We'll do one or two and then we'll.
Naples, Florida man calls 911 about McDonald's order and says he has, quote, cocaine in his butt.
Florida Man.
Indeed. Here's one. Florida man named Florida commits a bunch of bizarre thefts in Florida.
You don't say. That is a very Florida Man thing to do. Florida Man.
Florida man drunkenly stabs friend with a medieval sword for hogging the TV remote.
Florida Man. And of course, Florida Man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's a different one. Florida man accused of kidnapping woman and forcing her to join OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, Florida Man. Well, at least he's on there with Alec Peters.
Mm-hmm. Florida man discovers 7-foot alligator inside post office.
Florida Man.
Mm-hmm. You gotta remember to switch over to the voice.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to hit the damn button. Florida Man.
Okay. This one's a bit weird. Florida man caught in Collier County with over 20 stolen identities.
Florida Man.
Florida man being Florida man.
Multiple. Florida Man. Triplets.
Yeah. I think
That it for the week.
I think that might be it for the week.
All right.
'Cause I don't want to talk about the one with the millipedes.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Here's a okay. There's two stories here.
Hmm.
Florida man chases after stolen Lamborghini on scooter.
Florida Man.
And I know we usually don't cover this, but this is an instant karma story.
Okay.
Florida man and youth preacher films himself installing secret bathroom video cameras for watching teens poop. Dude was immediately arrested. That's some karmatic justice right there.
That's a little dark for Florida man. That's some Trumponian shit.
No, that's
Scat.
Definitely it's definitely scat, but that's no. That's the messed up church shit.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Sounds like Florida.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the Florida for this week. I think that's all I can handle.
We ran off for last year because we scared them off. I would be scared too after that last one because But all right. Well, everybody have a good night. We'll see everybody next week, and we'll announce the time sometime earlier on. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.